it's I'm actually underneath it right now. It's probably not the best spot to be standing, is that it's still holding up there in that other oak tree. Let's hope it's covered in vines. So if you look, that stem here goes up and goes, damn, my screenshot. It goes up the back side of that big back stem. Yeah. Not to mention, you know, they redo the house underneath the bad trees. Oh. Okay, YouTube. So we went down there, took that big stem and everything that went out that way off. It's really hard to see from here, but then we blew the top out of this and got this all the way there. I'm gonna go up and we'll start making some cuts on this. Let's see what it does. Hopefully we can get this chunk down all the way to like there, and it'll be rested on this limb. Then I can cut this limb, and if it slides and goes, it'll go down the back side of the tree, which should be okay. My only concern is if it starts to go this way. So these first few cuts weren't too bad. It wasn't too compressed, so I didn't end up getting pinched into it much. But the further I get down here, after I get past this union, some gnarly stuff starts happening, and I come to the realization that the tree is not connected at all, and it starts moving in the direction that I don't want, of course. So I don't know. As I watch this, maybe I'll use hindsight and see if there's a better way I could have done it. So it's moving. You hear me? What? It's moving. Oh yeah? Yeah. It may stay still, it may settle into that limb, but no sense in taking the risk, so make sure nobody gets anywhere in there until I'm for sure. I think I can make a couple more little cuts right here and find out what exactly it's going to do from up above it. That's what I'm going to try to do real quick. Let's see what happens. So with the power of hindsight, I guess if I was going to change something, I probably would have attached a rope to it here and tried to pull it out and went down and tried to sever stuff, but I was taking the risk of it falling onto me if I did that. I needed to eliminate anything that was up above me, so I'm trying to create separation here to take blocks. As you can see, it almost gets my saw, and then it makes a quick like jolt here in a second and kind of pulls itself towards me. the connection point, the tree had sat there long enough that it actually molded itself to the shape of the tree it's against, and that big movement there kind of freaked me out, but it wasn't too bad. It actually went the direction that I was hoping. So I would love to just put a rope on it and pull it, but I would have so much up above me that I kind of would worry about that. It's got a connection point down probably 6 feet below where I'm at, and there's a large limb that's there. I'm going to try to trip that limb by making a big cut on the back side of it. That way the pressure of the tree, if it was to come over, will go. But I don't want to attempt to make that cut in case the tree was to give way and then it takes my head off. So the tree has molded itself to this tree because it's sat here so long, and these first 10 foot of pressure is crazy. So I'll try to find a clip to show you that limb because I do talk about it multiple times, and explain how I'm going to trip it by the whole thing kind of resting on that limb, and then it's able to let it go. So let me see if I can find a clip, and I will throw it in here and explain. Okay, so if I found this clip, if you look to my left side over here, you can see that the broken tree is actually resting on this really good sized oak limb. Almost. So I was gonna cut that limb off, and then I started thinking, well, then I'll have all that up above my head, and the chance of it coming over onto the other side of the fork and getting me, I just didn't want to take the risk. So that pressure point there is essential for all this. I hoped that it was going to stay still and I could chunk it down. That ended up not working, so we have to figure out something else. Alright, so let's speed this up a little bit and I'll do a voiceover. This is just a bunch of questionable cutting. I showed you where I'm trying to get it down to, what I'm trying to get it to rest on, and I just really don't, it keeps changing. Normally with a tree, there's a couple pressure points, you can play off of those, but this one is resting and has molded itself, and it has no roots holding anymore, so everything's loose. So it keeps changing its pressure point. Right now, I'm on the side of the tree that I want to be. Even though I keep trying to kick it, I don't know what I think I'm going to do. That's the side I want it to be on. But as I start to cut here, because like I showed you, I don't want all this above my head as I try to trigger that limb. As I start cutting this, I realize like the pressure point here is holding a ton of it. And so I don't know if triggering that limb is going to do what I needed to do. And after all of it, I realized no, it wouldn't have done it. There's so much pressure up here, it would have stayed held here. And this would have been the headache that would have ruined all of it. The whole time I'm playing the battle of trying to not get my saw pinched, and that's like a full-time battle here. Right now, you can see we are on the outer edge of the tree, which is awesome. We have like 8 foot, maybe 6 foot, no, it could be 10 foot, I don't really know, can't really tell from this angle, to get it down, but the pressure point is right there. As I start cutting this, that fork that I left that I wanted to make contact, it takes the pressure, and now I realize the log started to roll towards me because of that. I don't know why that didn't really register. Ooh, I about got my saw, just lost my saw right there. I don't know why that didn't register at the time. It's very kind of obvious now when I'm thinking about it, but I didn't even know why the tree kept coming my direction. I was so just aggravated and stressed that I couldn't even think right. So my remedy for that and being totally stressed and not thinking clear is to just keep cutting, which I I still don't know if I made if the decisions I made were right, because there's about a billion different ways I could have took all this. Um, but the way I went with is, if I can flatten this here, maybe it'll slide off. So I start trying to take a little bit off the sides. That doesn't do it. It starts popping, and at one point here, it makes another pretty good move, and I don't even know what to do then. I'm just stressed right here. So you tell me what you think. Would you have done it different?
It just keeps rolling. Yeah, it just keeps rolling. I need something holding it that way.
So after realizing I need something to hold it that way, apparently I just went back to cutting because that's just the answer for this day. Remember, I have both of these to get down. It is, at this point, I would say we're probably 1 o'clock and nothing's getting done. Like, everything's taking forever. I don't even know what to do. So all this is just, it's starting to become too much.
Fucker.
So I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm pretty overwhelmed right here. I'm wondering why is this happening? Please just be a little bit of root system there. Work with me. I don't have much further than I need to get it down, but now it's starting to move more and more each time. So there was a huge house fire here. It has totally burnt up to a crisp the tree that I'm actually tied into and working out of. It's the big oak, and then it also burnt up this tree that had already fell. So instead of letting me take care of the trees before, go build the new house and put it up underneath these bad trees and then call for a guy to come take care of the trees so he can stress out as he does it. But I think I'm just going to send my saw down because it needs gas and oil. And I'm trying to come up with some kind of a game plan, but my mind is short-circuiting at this point. So you heard me earlier say I need something to be holding it from over here. That wouldn't have worked. It wasn't going to stop that roll from happening because of that fork in it. So I'm starting to get overwhelmed, and at some point here I basically give up and I'm like, let's just start pulling on it and see what happens. And I don't know, like, I still question the decisions that I made, and I guess I got home alive. But yeah, this could have went so much better, so much better. So the main reason that a tag line or a drift line wasn't going to work and help me in this situation is because these are the two tallest trees in the area, and we are on top of a hill. And at the bottom of that hill are power lines and a road. So we would need to get the correct leverage, we would have to be on the opposite side of the road. And even after I get it down a little bit, we try this and we run into that headache. And I feel like it's a bit chaotic.
but no matter what, it's probably going to want to twist a little bit. I don't know how the roots are looking back here, so I'm gonna go back over to it, cut a little more, see what I can do, if I can get any wood off of it, because I would like to get it down to there. If I get it down to there, then I could be on this back side and cut that limb and the whole thing will go. Or it'll stay up, but regardless, I'll have a chance and I can stay in a safe area. I could actually be on top of this and reach down and cut it actually. So, yeah. And that's why I left that one there a little longer instead of taking it in. I want to leave it there because then if it drops down, it'll be on this side of the log and it can't, hopefully it can't go back over towards the house is the plan.
So you can start to see from this point here that we're no longer on the complete backside of the tree. We're starting to creep our way back around towards the house and towards me. And that's the issue here. So I can't, I just keep cutting and I'm like, well, maybe I'm cutting it wrong, and I'll start to try to relieve it and send it onto the backside again. But I'm just not remembering that that stem is up underneath it and it's touching first, which is causing it to creep this way. And the cuts I'm making are so small that you don't really see big movement, but little by little it's creeping its way around here. And I really don't want to get those two, that union stuck in this fork. So then it would have been way harder and it would have been way more of a guessing game.
Dude, this fucker's gonna, it's not gonna, we need something to pull it that way. If I can get it on the other side of this limb, the problem is it keeps coming this way on the limb.
What would work?
I don't know. Only thing I can really think of, Jake, would be the tree jack. So send me the clip to the white rope, and I'll hook it up here, and then I'll come down. We'll try to set the tree jack up somewhere. I just don't know where I could even set it up though. Try to keep that so you can retrieve that on the ground too, the rigging. Which rope?
Red one?
So right here I'm pulling up the tree jack rope. If you read the text just a little bit ago, the contractor that's down there, the general manager or whatever, he offered and was repeatedly offering to hook it to his tractor and pull on it. When you see what ends up happening, I thank God that I didn't do that, because he would have been hurt, his tractor would have been destroyed, and that's like a guarantee. Who knows how bad it could have got. So I am so thankful that I just stuck to my guns, stuck to the things that I know, and used the tools that I know are safe, because that could have been so bad. You'll see when we get to the end.
What? I don't know. Just wait. I have no clue yet. Problem is, fucking power lines are there. We go across the road. Ridiculous. I'm thinking about like triggering that limb a little bit. This limb here that it's on. Go make a little bit of a cut on the back side of it, and then when we get to jacking on it, hopefully it'll break.
Alright, so as you can see, we have one high connection pressure point, about 5-6 feet, and then it's on the fork. So the camera battery does end up going dead there. I hook it up, I come down, I start to make my cut on the back side of that limb, and I trigger it really good, and I come down. I decided to put the tree jack, when we hook it up over here to the left bottom corner, it is, as we go to tighten it, it's lifting the power lines up like 6-7 feet. So we don't really have the right space, the right angle, but we're gonna try. And I'm gonna go down here at the base with my 362, and I'm gonna put a notch in this thing, and hope that with just a single hinge that we can get it to slide off. Well, that doesn't work. It starts to sit back, pinches my saw, I barely get my saw out. Then I decide to make a second notch up above that, out towards the road, towards the other side of the road, so down the hill. So I have one notch going directly away from the house, and the other one going down the back side of the tree. I want to trigger the first one to get it to move, and then the second one will take over. Then is the idea. So it's pretty plain. You can hear it. I was stressing, and I was trying anything. I still, at this point, I think we're about 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock. I still have this whole tree to get on the ground, and this whole tree to get down. That you can see now is quite black and dirty. And I was dirty when it was all said and done. I think we're going to end this one here, guys. This was just complete chaos, and I want to approach the end of this and explain it to you as best as I can, all in its own video. So thanks for watching this one. I would like to know if you see something you would have done different. Let me know. But yeah, our first hookup point wasn't good. We have to disconnect, and it's a long story. So be ready for part 2. See ya. Thanks for watching.